Good afternoon, YouTube. So I unloaded at last night at Austinburg, Ohio, and so I needed my trailer washed out. So I came about 4 or 5 miles to Geneva, Ohio, and I have to say this is one of the most bizarre businesses that I've ever come across, because it's a sort of a truck repair shop that does tires. They sell tires, so on and so forth, and that's not so out of the ordinary, right? So it's Dale's Truck Services. They got service truck, but they also do trailer washouts, which that's not that unusual either. But it's also a bar. You go in that door right there, where it says ATM machine available inside. You go in that door and you go upstairs, and there's actually a bar up there. And people are up there right now playing pool. And that's also where you go up to pay for the truck wash. So, and then they've got, I notice over there on the, let's see if I can zoom this without getting too shaky. There we go. So you can see that sign there. It says drive-through regulations. And so they've got some sort of like a drive-through that you can buy whatever, I don't know. I've seen these in some places where you have it's like a drive-through, and you can get snacks, and it's almost like a drive-through convenience store. So you see it says candy bars, snacks, iced tea, paper products, and I can't read that other thing, can't read it. But it's pretty bizarre. Nonetheless, it's really strange. So they've opened the door up, and they're moving that pickup out of the way, and I'll be pulling in there, and then they'll do the trailer washout. Hey YouTube, so I am now at Lyndhurst, Virginia. It's about, I don't know, put my glasses on here, sorry about that, put my glasses on here so I can see, 3:25 a.m. Eastern Time, and so I've made it here. I dropped the loaded trailer, picked up the empty trailer, and now they've sent a load that picks up in where does it pick up at? It picks up at Harrisonburg, Virginia, tomorrow, or this evening, actually, because it's already tomorrow, at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m., and then it delivers to Athens, Georgia on the 13th at 2200. That's in the evening. So once I start on these, where I'm sleeping part of the day away, it's kind of hard to get off of it. So eventually I'll probably get it flipped back around, so where I'm not sleeping so late into the day and staying up half the night or more. Oh well, I tend to be a night owl anyway, so it really it works out, and I don't know, there are a lot of people that they have a really hard time kind of flipping their hours around. If just the daylight savings time by itself kind of messes them up, and which is only 1 hour, and so I have never had that problem. I can as long as I get enough sleep, I can really vary my hours a lot, and I really have no problem sleeping. The only problem I have, if I really mess my hours up, my sleeping hours, I can end up with a pre-migraine event. And I don't know, some people, it's kind of hard to describe what a pre-migraine event is. It's kind of like you have these things that sort of travel across your field of vision, and where they're at, you actually can't see anything. You're actually kind of temporarily blinded by, where that thing is at. And it's almost sort of like one way I would describe it is sort of like something that's sort of jumping, sort of like almost like neon, because there's some kind of a little bit of flashing colors and lines. It's kind of hard to describe what that is, but it'll start. Sometimes it'll start in the center of my field of vision. Sometimes it'll start off on the side, and then usually it travels across. It takes about 20 minutes. And then immediately after it ends, then I'll end up with a mild throbbing headache. One time there was, I've had one real migraine headache to the point where and this has been way back in the 90s, had one migraine headache where I was vomiting and, kind of curling up in a ball. And I determined pretty quickly that it was coffee that was triggering it. I was the job that I had at the time, I was working at night dispatch temporarily, and they had all this free coffee, and I was really messing my sleeping patterns up, because one night I'd go in and work from 5 o'clock in the afternoon till midnight, and then the very next night they'd have you come in at midnight and work till 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. Well, you do that, and after a few days of that, you start feeling like a zombie. Throw in the fact that I was drinking all the coffee. Coffee is a trigger. I can drink a cup of coffee, and there's a really good chance that I'll end up with a pre-migraine event not long afterwards. So I just stay away from it. I'm not, I don't have anything against coffee. I just, I've never really drank that much of it. And after I found out that it could trigger a pre-migraine event and an actual, if I drink enough of it, an actual migraine, I stay away from it. Stay completely away from it. And if I really mess my sleep pattern up, I can end up with a pre-migraine event. And then the other trigger is chocolate. So if I were to eat a chocolate bar, some kind of a chocolate candy bar, there's a pretty good chance that I would end up with a pre-migraine event. Not necessarily, but now I can drink like a cup of, 2 cups of hot chocolate or whatever, and it's not going to do anything. And there may not be enough chocolate in it. There must be a threshold that sort of triggers it. So I just avoid eating chocolate. Chocolate bars, anytime anyone offers me a chocolate bar or any kind of substantial amount of chocolate, I just turn it down, and this, not really worth having a throbbing headache, or mild throbbing headache. I have to say they're pretty mild. After that pre-migraine event, they're pretty mild, and but they do take a couple of days to go away. And so typically, as soon as I know that the pre-migraine event is going on, then I'll take either some aspirin or some Tylenol or ibuprofen, whatever I happen to have around. I'll take, maybe one of those, and that's typically enough to get rid of the, or kind of basically get rid of the throbbing headache, to the point where I'm not aware of it. So, but if I really mess my sleep up, then that can trigger it. And stress, I think, can trigger it too. So, but I'm not under much stress. I'm really not. I know there's a lot of drivers, a lot of over-the-road drivers, they feel like, oh, I'm stressed out, it's a horrible, stressful job, blah, 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 blah. And in my case, it's like, this is a vacation. It's not a perfect job, but most of the time I enjoy doing it, and most of the time it does not seem like work. And I think it really, different people are suited to different types of jobs, and I seem to be pretty well suited to driving a truck over the road, and it really doesn't seem that much like work. And as I say, I do enjoy it the vast majority of the time. I really don't like driving in snow, some types, or snow or ice. That's really don't enjoy that, but it comes with the territory, and sometimes some of the schedules are pretty well cramped, really too tight, but that kind of comes with it, and so I'm able to deal with that, and I don't get, even at that, I don't get stressed out at all. So, anyhow, I think I better cut this off. So from Lyndhurst, Virginia, I'll catch you later.